Good afternoon, Democrats. I am so pleased to join you again for our convention. You know, in 2010, we gathered in my district in Los Angeles, knowing that across the country, a powerful red tide was forming. We steeled ourselves for a tough fight. And when that fight was over, we were the only Democrats anywhere in the country to beat back their challenges and actually take a seat away from the Republicans in the Assembly. And last year, we gathered in San Diego knowing that labor was under attack, knowing that the Koch brothers and their ilk would spend millions of dollars to defeat Prop 30, knowing that redistricting and Top 2 would make every corner of California a battleground. And this year, as we gather today, we know that we won every single one of those battles decisively. We passed Prop 30 and protected education. We defeated Prop 32 and beat back the attack on working people. We passed Prop 39 and we doubled down on clean energy. Because as Democrats, we understand that Californians value clean air, clean water, and a sustainable future. We fought hard, and we won 29 Democratic seats in the state Senate, 2 more than they needed for a supermajority. And California alone was responsible for half of all the Democratic pickup seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. 38 Democrats proudly represent California in Congress today and in the Assembly, where no one, not a single pundit, thought it was possible for us to hit the 54-seat mark for supermajority. We did them one better. 55 Democrats in the Assembly, 55 Democrats, double nickels in all those contests. We won because of the strength and the conviction of our grassroots Democrats who spend every single day fighting for our values of inclusion, respect, and opportunity. When we looked into the eyes of voters, we weren't asking them to give us a vote. We were inviting them to join our cause, our fight for progress, our fight for justice. When we talked to women, we talked about the fact that as Democrats, we're appalled at the insulting, degrading, outdated attacks on choice and contraception. We talked to college students about an unacceptable decade of fee increases and a mountain of student loan debt. We said to the dreamers and all those that stand with them, that they deserve to be recognized and treated as the Americans they rightfully are. In every community of our state, people heard our message of inclusion and progress, and from every background and all walks of life, they joined our fight, overwhelmingly and powerfully. And they did it because each of us made the personal connections that are essential to our victory. And today, there are only 2 kinds of counties in California: blue counties and soon-to-be blue counties. Think about it. Think about it. Not a single one of our 58 counties has a Republican majority today. Not a single county with a Republican majority. In a state that sent Herbert Hoover and Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan to the White House, Republicans are now a minority everywhere. Republicans are now the minority. Now that's ironic. Now our mission as Democrats is to keep that trend going by continuing to make those personal connections with all Californians, by reminding the voters that we are fighting for our shared values, by pointing to a record of progress every Californian can be proud of, a record that shows that Democrats balanced the budget and stabilized the economy, a record that shows that Democrats are fighting for 21st century jobs for all Californians, a record that shows that Democrats fought for Prop 30 and the Middle Class Scholarship Act because we are the party of opportunity, and there is nothing more powerful, more transformational, or more capable of unleashing one's full potential in life than an affordable college education. And we're going to remind the people of California that Democrats are working tirelessly for the day when every LGBT person is treated with dignity, respect, and equality in our communities, in our jobs, and at the altar of the wedding chapel. The way forward for our party, the mission each of us must reaffirm, is to keep forging those powerful personal relationships that show that our values as Democrats and our values as Californians are one and the same. To bring everyday Californians together in a fight for a hopeful, inclusive, and optimistic vision of the future. That's something that's been lost on those same pundits who said we couldn't get to 54 seats in the Assembly, let alone the double nickels of 55. Who said that college students, who cynically said that college students who registered online wouldn't actually turn out to vote. The same pundits who were proved wrong by the work all of us did together in November. And because of that work, Democrats are laying the foundation for the next great era of California's history. Now, our Republicans are busy with a set of challenges of their own. Ever since the election, we've heard a lot about their autopsy, about their evolution on the issues. It's kind of nice to hear Republicans talking about evolution for a change. But in all their discussion, it's clear they really haven't learned anything. Think back. In 1948, they were in a similar position. They lost a race for president where they were absolutely convinced they would win. California Governor Earl Warren was the Republican vice presidential nominee. He spent election night at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco listening to the radio as each wave of return showed the chances of Republican victory slipping away, until that last report came in and it was clear that Democrats had won. Now, at this point, he finally decided to talk to the press. And of course, the reporters all had the same question. Governor, why do you think President Truman and the Democrats were able to beat you? Governor Warren offered his own autopsy. He said, because they got more votes than we did. History is repeating itself. They understand that we got more votes than they did, but they still don't understand why. They don't understand that a party that's divided our state into us versus them will always fall to a party that reveres and embraces the spirit of e pluribus unum. They don't understand that a party that relies on voter suppression in order to win will always lose. And they don't understand that a party that makes leaders out of Minutemen, whose standard bearers view the poor, the sick, and the elderly as takers, is a party whose core beliefs are antithetical to the first charge of our Constitution, to form a more perfect union. To form a more perfect union. That charge is why we fight. That charge is why we're Democrats. That charge is why we win. And when the people know that Democrats are fighting for them, the people will come out and vote. Now, you've heard me say this time and time again, but when the people vote, Democrats win. And when Democrats win, California wins. So let's keep winning. Let's keep bringing people together around a vision of progress and inclusion. Let us each do our part to live up to that charge and form a more perfect union. Thank you.